Okay, we're continuing Hilchos Dam. This actually is a combo siman of Dam, Chelev, and Gid HaNasheh. We're going to get back into a little bit of Gid HaNasheh. Okay, let's go to Seif Daled. Beitzei Zachar, testicles. Kol Zman, Shelo Hayalo Shloshim Yom, Mutarim L'Kedera Bilo Klipa. So as long as it's less than 30 days, the animal.
This is 30 days old?
Right, from when it's born. The animal, the Gemara just uses the word gdi, kid, and it's a machlokas. Rashi, Shulchan Aruch, Tur says it makes no difference. All behemoths, the same Tur for the first 30 days. It's the Rambam only mentions gid and kevis, so we're going to see how that plays out. It could be that even from day one for a cow, it's an issue. So let's read. So we said the calf. Thank you. So Beitzei Zachar Kol Zman Shelo Hayalo Shloshim Yom, hasn't been 30 days yet since it was born. Mutarim L'Kedera Bilo Klipa. So then, even though you have veins or blood vessels around the testicles, they're visible. It doesn't matter for the first 30 days. All you have to do is whatever you normally have to do, melicha, or you do tzli, whatever it is. But once you take care of it, you can put it in the. You don't have to cut them or anything like that. Then you can go ahead and afilu yesh bahem kamo chutim adumim. So for the first 30 days, even if you actually see that there's red blood vessels or purple, whatever, it's still fine. And fine. Right, we call it Lashon Chazal. We call it has the same din as shuman. Like all meat and shuman, we have to kasher it melicha, but otherwise you don't have to do anything else. But once you hit 30 days, then it depends. Once you see the red blood vessels and it's been 30 days, then it's aser, unless of course you do chaticha melicha and below klipa. But if you cook it in a pot and you didn't cut them and then salt them, then it's aser kedei klipa. Abal etzli mutarim. But if you just roast it, it's 100% fine, and you don't even have to cut it because they're on the surface. We're talking about the blood vessels out on the surface.
No, but the klipa, that's about
anything that's adjacent to the blood vessels.
It's about
you have to
remove the blood out, peeling, right? It's not
peel. It means slicing off the meat that's adjacent to the blood vessels.
Right, it's not about after.
We're not talking. There's not eggshells over here. We're talking about the testicles of an animal. Okay. I think we're good with that. Okay. Let's read the Ramah. 1 second. Now, I'll just point out, you can see the Gemara, it seems to tie the fact that if it has big enough blood vessels to be a problem after 30 days, it has to do with if it start producing sperm. But Lamaisa, the Gemara and Halacha, it really has no bearing on Halacha. Just point it out there if you want to look it up. But it's all based on 30 days, and visually you see red or purple in the blood vessels. Okay. And then when we say it's aser l'kedera, so then when we said if there are blood vessels, it's more than 30 days, that's when it's a problem. So then if you cook with it, and then you have to make sure that the beitzim are shishim b'diavad. Not only that, but it has to you have to remove the klipa, but you also have to make sure that the beitzim are shishim keneged the veins. Otherwise, you have a problem of it trafing up the eggs. And according to the Ramah, it even becomes the whole egg then, if it's not shishim, becomes an isser of chanan. Beitzim, testicles. Sorry. Testicles. Thank you. So, Lashon Chazal. Haga. Okay, very good. And I'm not going to get into chanan right now, but just according to the Ramah, it could be an issue of chanan. Chatichas, nasas, nevela. Just in real short, this is really going to be coming up later on. But in general, Basar, when it comes to Basar B'chalav, everybody holds, again, it's all a machlokas in the Gemara, but Lamaisa we all hold the whole mixture becomes Aser, that's Chanan, and that everyone holds Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah. By Shar Isurim, that's another machlokas, and there generally the Shulchan Aruch would be Mekel, to say Efshar L'Sochto, you can, the whole thing doesn't necessarily become 100% Chanan forever, but by the Ramah is generally Machmer. But that's for much later. Haga v'nahagu l'nakir ha'beitzim af kashem pechutim mishloshim yom. Now, the Ramah says, but the minhag is, if you any red blood vessels that you see, you remove them or you cut them, even if it's less than 30 days. So the Shach and Aruch HaShulchan argue, what's the reasoning for that? The Shach says, because we want to make sure, because otherwise, if we tell you only to do it when it's 30 days, when it's more than 30 days, and we don't make you do it when it's less than 30 days, there'll be sometimes you end up doing it, and the animal actually was 30 days old, and we'll make a mistake that way between before and after 30 days. This way, you never make a mistake. You see blood vessels, you cut them before you do malicha. The Aruch HaShulchan says it's because the Ramaz, so the minhag, is to be choshesh for the Rambam that says for an animal, or for calves, it starts from day one. The tour of 30 days is only for a gedi or keves. Okay. V'chein lahasir misham gid hagadol. You also have to remove the biggest vein. V'lachtoch behem harbe chatichot. We make many cuts in them. V'nagu likach min hakatef abasar shekorin dries. Now, there is a minhag to remove a piece of the by the shoulder, a piece of meat. I'm not exactly sure what the part this is. Hopefully we'll see this. Ve'ein bo eserak mishum mius. But it's only disgusting, and that's the reason why we remove it, but there's no eser whatsoever. And if we don't find it mius, then it's not a problem anymore. Just a minhag. I don't know.
And the Gida Gadol?
This is talking about a vein on the testicle.
That's talking about the vein?
Yeah.
Gida Gadol?
Yeah. Od nagu belon, I believe. Od, and I didn't see it, but I believe. Od nagu belon vil shekorin litvich mitzloto velo labashlo ve'ein ba iser im mevashlo. There's a minhag, this other part, I'm not sure what it's referring to. There's a minhag to roast it and not to cook it, but that's not the halacha. You're allowed to cook it. Even lechatchila you're allowed to. So don't worry about those who are machmer. That's that small middle lobe in the lungs. There's a minhag to remove it. To remove it and not to eat it. But there's absolutely no eser. There's just some who do that. There's also a minhag to slice, make cuts in the hooves of the animals. Ulahasir misham basar lavan, to remove some of the white material, or it's called muscle, I don't know. Maybe it's tendons, I'm not sure. Vidak mishum mius, they're very thin and white, and it's just because it's mius. We don't want to eat it. But if you didn't do it, don't worry about it. This is not a minhag of. It's not one of those minhagim. They say minhag Yisrael. You have to make sure you do. Okay, that's what he's telling you. Fine. Let's go on to Hey. Gira nasha. Noeg b'behema b'chaya. So it's a clear din. It's clear from that Gira nasha applies by both behema and achaya. Afilu ein kaf shelehem agul. Even if, now, there's a halacha that everyone agrees, if the muscle is round. Now, I sent out a picture. It means that when you look at I think it's called the thigh, right? The upper leg, the top part of the muscle, of the top part of the leg, the muscle curves round inward to the medial part of the body, from the outside, from the distal to the inside, to the mesial or medial. It's inward. The inside of the leg, it's a round muscle. Okay, you can look it up now or later. That's kaf.
Kaf is not a bone. Kaf is
Here
not
it's not a bone. The kaf is used in a few times. It could be by the shoulder blade. It could be used by the connection of the bone over of the thigh. Here it's talking about the kaf of the muscle, definitely. So it's a round muscle normally. By an animal, it's normally a round muscle. By a chicken, it's basically a flat line. The muscle doesn't, the thigh, it doesn't protrude roundly towards the inside between the legs. Okay? So, if it's an animal, a behema or a chaya that's round, everyone agrees for sure that's the Gid HaNasheh Midaraisa. Right? If there's a discussion in the Gemara, it's a Baya Deloiv Shita, to take it. Rabbi Yomi asks, what if it's flat by an animal or if it's round by a chicken? So we hold the halacha, it's an Issa Daraisa, so we go the Chumrah. So now let's read. Gid HaNasheh Noeg Behema
chicken also?
by a chicken also. Keep reading. Gid HaNasheh Noeg Behema V'chaya. If you ein kaf shalehem agol, it's a suffix deraisa if it's not round, but so we hold it's 100% Gid HaNasheh. The noheg b'yarech shel yamin u b'yarech shel smol, both sides. And again, like always, some of these issues are machlokas, and if you go back to the Mishnah, but we're just reading here. Ve'eno noheg be'of mipnei she'en kaf shelo agul, but it doesn't apply to a chicken because it's not normally round. Aval im nimtza lo kaf agul, but if in this chicken that you shachted you find that it is round, noheg bo, there is an isur deraisa, at least suffix, right? We said isur deraisa by of Gid HaNasheh. Ve'ein sarich livdok acharavim hu agul. But again, just like by Hilchos Trefos, there's many things you don't look for, you don't have to look for, there's no need whatsoever. Lechatchila, don't even look. Same thing by chickens. You don't have to look, and there's no I don't even think there's a chumrah to look. Okay, Haga. Besides, it'll be very hard for you to find one. Haga. Ve'ein chiluk bein chaya lebehema b'kol davar ha'aseh mishum gid. Now, when it comes, so we have to not get confused, and we're going to see this, we're jumping the gun a little bit, but when it comes to gid, we know there's a gid deraisa, there's also going to be a gid derabanan, and there's also going to be shuman of the gid. So that shuman is not chaylev, it's shuman, and that's attached to the halacha of gid. Chaylev is its own separate isser. So let's not get confused when we're jumping between behema and chaya. So ve'ein chiluk bein chaya lebehema b'chol davar ha'aseh mishum gid. Anything that has an isser of gid, there's no difference if it's a chaya or a behema. Or mishum dam, or anytime there's an isser of dam, there's no difference of behema or a chaya. Because sometimes we learned that one chut or membrane is because of dam or chaylev, or now we're reminding ourselves of the halacha of Gid HaNasheh. So we just have to know. Okay, v'chein ba'of, same thing by an oaf, by a chicken. Imayalo kaf, if it had a kaf, then you have to worry about gid. V'lachein kol davar shemanach mebehema tzarich lenaker b'chaya gamken. Rak ma she'asur mishum chaylev. Sorry. Rak ma she'asur mishum chaylev ein tzarich lenaker b'chaya. So anything that's because of gid, you have to worry about, and dam, you have to worry about a chaya and a behema. And oaf, you have to only worry about a dam, unless you find a round thigh, which is unusual. Okay, so, and so therefore, the shuman of the gid, you have to worry about that in a chaya, but you don't have to worry about the chaylev in a chaya. Right? There's no isra chaylev by a chaya or an oaf. So hopefully that was clear. Okay. Vav. Noeg bekoy. Now, the isra of Gid HaNasheh applies to a koi. Well, of course it should, because a koi is either a behema or a chaya, and Gid HaNasheh applies to both behema and chaya.
The shortest in Shulchan Aruch.
Oh yes, this is the shortest seif in the entire Arba Chalkei Shulchan Aruch. Nice to mention that. Noheg bekoy. It's a half a sentence. You have to read hey to understand vav. Okay? Well, maybe not, I guess. Okay, anyway, Zayin. Okay, there's no proper noun, whatever. Eino noheg I guess that's common. Zain. Eino noheg b'shalil. It doesn't apply to, Gid HaNasheh doesn't apply to a fetus. Right? You cut it open. Kol she'eino ta'on shchita. You cut open the animal. You shech an animal, you cut it, you shech the mother, shech the mother, then you open up the animal, you see she's carrying a calf, a fetus inside her. Kol she'eno ta'un shchita. As long as it doesn't need to have shchita, it doesn't need, you don't have to remove the Gid HaNasheh. Even midirabanan. Once it steps on the ground, then we know you're chayev in shchita midirabanan, and I believe you have to remove the Gid HaNasheh. Also, that would be derabanan, right? That only makes sense. And just a reminder, so when we say shehifris al raglav, so it's a machlokas rishonim and achronim if it just stands. So that's a machloket if that's counted, or does it mean it has to walk? Okay. V'yesh omrim shenoeg bo im shalmu lo chadashav umatzo chai. But there's another opinion that says once, if you find it alive, and I guess it lives 9 months, I forget now.
No. Shalmu lo chadashav means it was a full term.
Right, full term. So I forget what that is for a calf right now. We had this before, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So once it's full term, and you find it in there, so then this opinion holds that Gid HaNasheh is chayev, I'm pretty sure midaraisa. Hagav v'nagu lahachmer kisvar achrona. The minhag is to be machmer. The Ramah says the minhag is to be machmer, and so the Shach says is 100% the halacha. You must remove it, and that's I don't know if he says that here, but he definitely says that a few. I think a siman before, or a few simanim before. Okay, whenever he spoke about it recently. Okay, whatever. Maybe the beginning of Samach Dalet or whatever. Let's go to Chet. Shnei gidim. Shnei gidim heim biyarech. Echad. Echad pnimi samach le'etzem ve'asheni chitzon samach le'basar. So I'm not sure if I sent it out in this picture or a different picture a while back. There's the main gid, that's the inner one. That's for sure the Isser Deraisa. And it happens to be a machloket if the part that's Deraisa, is it only in the area of the round muscle, or does that, once you identify that gid, even beyond the round muscle, if that further portion of the gid is also a Deraisa or not. But anyways, Lamaisa has this, I don't think, not much of a nafkamina, maybe, in a Bediavad case. But anyways, let's continue. So it goes all the way down. That's on the inside along the bone. The Hashenia chitzon. So the machlokas, there's two opinions which chitzon that is, but it's one that's more to the surface, within the muscle, not very close to the bone and of the leg. And both of these are aser. V'tzarich lechatet achareim. And they're both aser, at least derabanan. Elasha pnimi aser minatora. The inner one is aser minatora. V'hu haposhet bechol hayarech. And so the psak of the Shulchan Aruch is it goes, the entire leg is a din daraisa. The chitzon aser midivreim. Only the chitzon is aser midivreim. Ukunuknos shebishneim asurim midivreim. The small little branches of the nerves, this is only aser midarabanan, right? Both of them, the pinim and the chitzoni. Okay, v'tzarich lechatet achareim, and you must look for it. You have to go after it. You have to cut through the meat to get to there in order to cut them and pull them out. The shumnam, and the fat that's around and adjacent to these nerves are 100% asur midarabanan, because Yisrael kadoshim heim v'nahagu bo eser. Right. So the smaller are derabanan, and the shuman is derabanan. And we're going to see that it makes a difference. Okay. Haga, for ta'am. We'll get to there soon. Haga. Viroshe knuchnos nichnasim viroshe atzamos, and the ends of the knuchnos, these branches of the nerves, they start from the vertebrae. Alkein amanakar tzarich lishpor roshe hatzamos. So you have to cut these bones to get there. Kedilahasir knuchnos miikaran, from the source of ein lilmod seder nikor rak b'maris ha'ayin min hamumcha habaki b'nikuro. And one can only learn this. You can't read it from a pamphlet, from a book. Although I saw in the Aruch Shulchan, he has a couple pages. I think he quoted from the Lavush or something. I didn't read it all, where he describes Seder Nikor. But regardless, we all agree it's good to have a manual, but especially as a reference before and after. But you need live shimush. Okay.
Even a video.
Right. Videos, no. You need to watch and do it yourself with someone watching you.
Right.
Okay. Right. Tet.
This is the good Marasan.
Stop.
Now we have.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is the good Marasan.
So